Hello and welcome to Gamer Social. My name is Matt, I'm here and let's fly the PMDG 737-800 aircraft. This is the very first episode of a brand new series, and what we're going to do is tons of different flights using different aircraft, starting off with this wonderful one you see here. Yes. It's all parked up at London Gatwick Airport, EGKK, in the maintenance stands. Out the way, you can see there's two Thompson aircraft in the background there. So we're going to do a very short and simple flight today. We're going to do some flight planning, set the aircraft up, take off from Gatwick. We're going to circle around a little bit, around the airfield, around the area of London possibly, and then land back down at London Gatwick and park up, probably in the same point. So yeah, as you can see, we're using the house colours, so no specific airline. So hopefully this will be a successful flight. What I will say is I'm not a certified pilot. I am still learning how to fly in simulation, so I will make mistakes. I don't know everything, so be kind. If you have any tips, then leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to read them and learn from it in future videos. So let's start off with the flight planning. Okay, so we're on my desktop as we begin our flight planning. So what I use for flight planning is two applications, well, three actually. The first one is Add Sky Next. This controls the weather in my flight simulator. So if we have a look on the map, the conditions, and have a look at EGKK, we can have a look and see what London Gatwick is actually doing. So we currently have a temperature of 21, dew point of 12, surface winds of 220 at 4 knots. So this will determine what direction we'll take off on. I also have an application on the iPhone called Aero Weather, which can also download meteor information, so weather information from any airport you choose. And it will tell me which runways are in use, and currently it is 26 left with a headwind of 3 knots. That's what you want to do, you want to fly into the headwind. So on the application it's saying wind is also 220 at 4 knots, so it's exactly the same as this, so it's good to see that it's accurate. So at least we know which runway we'll be taking off from. In terms of our flight planning, I use Navigraph charts. You can see here there's the aerodrome of London Gatwick, and we'll be taking off in this direction, so we're going down this runway. So we're currently parked here. There's a blast fence there apparently, I didn't see that, but never mind, unless I had my back to it. We're parked around here, so we push back and we'll be taxiing past the main terminal. So here's the north terminal, here's the south, and we'll be lining up and taking off. So taking off towards the west part of the country. So if we have a look at, we're taking off 26, aren't we? So here we are. Let's just drag this open a little bit so we can see what we're looking at. So 26, we can have a look at what direction does this go. So this actually turns the aircraft around, which we may want to do, because if we're going to be going back around and coming back into land, we may want to know we'll be landing the same direction. Ignore me, I am talking gibberish. So we want to probably do that actually. We might fly out south, we could do that. Have we got one where we can just fly out west? We could do this as well. I reckon we should actually do this, straight out to Southampton. That would be good. So let's do the standard instrument departure Kennet, but well, you'll be using SAM. So we're going to fly out and make our way to SAM, and then do a bit of cruising, get up to our cruise altitude, whatever we've got to do, and then turn around and come back in for landing. So that will be fine. So we can remember to use that one there. I'll be having these charts up on a secondary computer, just so I can keep an eye on things of what we gotta do. So that's fine. I'll also make a note of that though on my notepad, just so we know exactly what we are going to be doing. So it's going to be a Kennet. No, it's not. It's SAM. I keep saying that. It's a SAM departure. Here we go. So that is not noted down on a different computer that I have next to me, so I can see all my charts whilst I'm using this. So that is fine. So in terms of our arrival, our star, we're going to be coming in from the west. So it's probably going to be, it could be Astra or Willow, to be honest. It's probably going to be Astra. We'll probably be coming back in at Southampton from this point here, unless we decide to maybe fly out. So we could actually fly out and go to Dumont. I reckon that might be a good idea. So we can come out to here. We can be coming out of the airport, wherever the airport is, up here. Airport's here, Southampton. We could probably fly out to here and go to Dumont and come back in. So I'm thinking that's probably a good idea. So that is pretty much all the flight planning we really need to do. I'm not going to do any fuel planning this time. I'm just going to put in what I believe I need, which hopefully will be enough, but hopefully not too much. Otherwise, that will mess up the flight a little bit. So we will be doing that flight. So this aircraft is currently in the cold and dark state. So I'm going to have to get some power on for starters. Let's get the battery turned on and get that all covered up. At least now we'll have a little bit of power. I can get this covered up as well. Nicely done. And I'm going to get some power from the ground. So I think FMC and use good ground connection. Let's get the ground power in as well as the air conditioning unit. And now we can begin to hear some lovely sounds. And that can be cleared there because I know we have single FMC usage. And we can now use ground power. Boom, problem solved. Let's get our packs on. No, pack needs to stay off actually, so the recirculating fans we need on. Because we're using power, power from the outside and air conditioning from the outside. We don't need to have those packs on quite yet. So, let's get our logo on though, because I like having our logo on. I like having our wing lights on as well. But that is pretty much all we need on. We'll put our seatbelts on the auto, but we're not going to have any passengers. This is a maintenance flight, a test flight in theory, so nothing to worry about there. Let's have a look, see, let's get this cleared off. So still a fairly blank screen, nothing really going on. Let's begin our actual flight plan. So our fuel, I'm going to set just to 1/3 fuel. That should be enough for what I'm trying to do, I hope. Soon find out anyway. Let's go on to the FMC. Navigate out of date. It probably is because I think there's a new air cycle out. Yeah, there is. Oh well, never mind. So we are currently EGKK, London Gatwick Airport. Yes, one thing I need to do is go up to here, set this to a line so we can get our information. It doesn't take too long on this aircraft, I don't believe. It's usually quite a speedy thing, but you can see now our screens have actually lit up, so we can see what the hell is going on. I'm going to set this here to hectopascals because we are in the UK. It always defaults to inches because it's stupid. And I'll actually set that to the correct reading now whilst we're at it. I'll check again later, just in case it does change. Apparently now though, we were going to be taking off from runway 26 left. At the moment it doesn't really say which runway to use. I'm looking at the app on my phone here, the Air Weather app that I mentioned in the previous video. But either way, it should be 1022, crikey, that's way too far. There we go, 1022, see it's changed down here. That's setting our altimeter just so it's correct. So, let's have a look, see, we are here, we can use either of these, this is GPS left to right coordinates. Stick it in there, problem solved. If we head back up to the top, we can set this to nav, and what we should see is our screens are all fully lit up. Yay, making good progress. Making good progress. So, EGKK, and we're also going to put in EGKK because we are going to be returning here, having a very good time. So, usually you put in your route here, where you're going, and your waypoints, but we're doing a circle, so I'm going to go straight to our departure arrival page, and I'm going to go for 26 left. At the moment it said either runway is fine, so I'm going to stick with what we planned unless the winds go against us. And we were going to do the SAM, weren't we? Yes, where is it? SAM 2MV, 2M, there we are, that's the one we want. Let's route that and let's activate it and execute it. Boom. We can go on to our legs page now and just double check that this is, whoa, wrong button, or check it's all okay. Let's go into the map region and just make sure it matches our flight plan, and it does. It takes us out and then that's it. We're done. So that's pretty much it. We're going to be going out, we're going to be on our own after we get to this point here. Once we're past that, we can fly the aircraft however we want. And that's fun, that's all we're really interested in. So I'm going to be going to, I think, a cruise about 25,000 feet. I'm not going to be going too high. I might not even get up to that mark, in all honesty. I will put the flight directors on, along with this one here. And I will arm the auto throttle, because it needs to be done. Yes. Let's have a look at our zero fuel weight. Throw that in there. Our reserves can be 5. And our costing this will be 20, no, 25 please. There we go. Our cruise, I'm going to say 250. Yeah, it should be okay, so execute that. So, into takeoff, I'm going to do a FRAPS 5 takeoff, and that will give me all this lovely information. I know the cruise altitude, I know, it's going to keep saying I can't do the cruise altitude because we have no waypoint that will allow us to get there. That's because we're going to be flying manually. So our trim will be 4.66. I've got to remember to do this because I tend to forget because I'm a little bit useless. But I will make a note of it on my secondary computer just so I know what the hell is going on. What I want to have a look at as well, if I remember how to do this, we've got plenty of fuel, so we should be okay. Destination. Speed, here we go. I want to set it to 30 at 10,000 feet. Just to give us a little bit of leeway. Hello. There we go. And stick that in there, execute that. And our transition altitude will be 6,000 as well. Boom, that can go in there. I don't believe I have to change that anywhere else. I don't think. Let's just have a quick look. No, I believe that is fine. That is not right there. Let's change that one as well if we can. I don't know if we can, but we can definitely try. See what happens. Boop. Yep, we can. Good. Problem solved. Route is fine. We've done that. We've done it. No, here we go. Transition out. Just what I wanted to find. Forgot where it was then. Unable to cruise altitude. I know. It's fine. It's not a problem at all. So we need to set the our heading to 259, I believe is the correct heading as we take off. According to my chart anyway, 259. So down to here please, init reference, M1 limit, take off is 145. So 145 into here. Just that matches. These should activate, which they do. Just testing that this will work for the autopilot if we do use it, which we probably will, in all honesty. We can take that out of plan now, so back into our usual display mode. Let's have a quick look and see if the weather has updated yet. Let's quickly keep a close eye on it really. And it hasn't. It's all variable still at the moment. So that is a bit of a bugger. So as you can see out here, we've got my steps so people can get in and whatnot. Apparently there's a blast barrier thing down there. I don't really know. Let's have a look at the other side. You see other aircraft out here as well. It's a lovely day today, a bit of cloud, but nothing too crazy. Our temperature is 21 degrees here. Nice. Not bad. So let's begin our preparation, shall we? Let's get our fuel pumps turned on. Why not? Let's get our anti-collision turned on. And what else should we turn on? Electrical needs to go on. Our APU can now be started up because we shall need it shortly. Yaw damper, there we go. Get the yaw damper on as well in preparation. And that is pretty much it at the moment. Low oil pressure, I know that's because the bing bong. Because the APU is now turning on, which is fine. Anything I need to do down here? Nope, we're not going to be using traffic control, air traffic control, because we're not flying online or anything like that. There is no AI air traffic, so we're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to fly out and do our own thing. So that should be perfectly fine. He says, let's just test this, just make sure it does work. It's our traffic avoidance system. Again, we don't need it because there will be no traffic, but so it's always interesting when there we go. It's always interesting when it says there is traffic. That is always fun to hear when there shouldn't be. There we go. So is our APU running yet? How are we doing? I believe it is. Let's have a look. APU generator, it is on. So APU please. Boom, boom. So now what we can do is we can request pushback. Prepare position for departure. I will need pushback, and we can start pushback now. So I have AES from Aerosoft for my pushback functions. So what I need to do quickly is close up the doors that I have open. There we go, get all these closed. I had some overwing exits open apparently, never mind, not to worry. And I'll also have the ground connections removed, so you can hear the pushback, there it is, look. It's coming into place, which is awesome. It's getting ready to push us back. Which is pretty amazing. And yeah, we're almost ready, so I'm going to put on my position strobe and stator lights.
Okay, hold on as we prepare the aircraft for pushback.
And we should be able to start up our engines ever so shortly. Just waiting for everything to be in place. I think we are all good to go. Just doing a final check of our systems. We can get our window heat now put on. Our probes can wait just a second.
Please release parking brakes.
And we are ready. Parking brakes to be released. Let's just get our clock set. Come on, press the button please. Which button is it? Wrong one. Down here I think. Boom, there we go. Problem solved and release.
Okay, starting pushback.
Here we go. So it should push us nicely backwards and turning our tail to our left or their right and pointing us in the right direction. So we can...
Left is clear, right is clear, okay to start engines.
Awesome, we can start engines. So we're going to start our left one first, so turn that one to ground. And let's monitor what it does on here and make sure everything goes smoothly. And I'll adjust my trim in a second as well. Because you know what I'm like. I'll probably forget. Which is not very good. So once this gets to about 22 roughly, I'll throw the fuel in. There we go, that'll do. And now that will fire up perfectly normally. Without any problems whatsoever. Which is good. There we go, that one's going nicely. How are we doing? We're going to be turned around yet, or I have no idea how far back we get pushed. Never mind. Not to worry. Hopefully they do actually turn us. Oh, they will in a minute. Oh, there's the blast barrier, look. It's right there. Awesome, that's one of the engines done. Let's do the other one as well now. It's the same thing, as monitor it, make sure it's doing all okay. And everything should be fine. We can do a systems check in a minute as well. And once this one gets to about 22 also, we will inject the fuel. And all should be good. There it goes. And still no further update on the weather yet. Let's give it another little look just to make sure the engine seems to be doing its thing as well, which is good. And we're being lined up nicely. Look at that. That's absolutely perfect. Really, really good.
In position, please set parking brakes.
And parking brake is set. And they will now get rid of themselves. Just wait for our engine to stabilise and we can turn off the APU. And we'll more or less be ready to go. Go and get our auto brake set to RTO. There we go, they're on their way out, which is good.
Tow equipment is removed.
So engines taking over the power, APU off, taxi light can go on, our probes can now go on, our fans can now go on, so we can get air back into the cabin so everyone can relax.
You are clear for taxi. Please wait for my hand signal on the left hand side.
And we gotta wait for his signal on the whatever hand side, left hand side it was. So let's just sit here and wait for him to wave, and then we can get moving. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, here he goes, and he's waving, and we are good to go. So now we are actually ready to begin moving. So let's start off by lowering the flaps. You may have heard it there, I actually have it set into the command on my joystick. So the flaps are set to 5. We're going to release the parking brake, and we are going to get ourselves moving away. So, so gently push the thrusters forwards. And everything should be all good. So we are still heading towards runway 26 left. I haven't heard anything different yet in regards to what runway is available, because the weather hasn't yet updated for the past 25 minutes. So I'm going on the assumption, just pull back the speed a little bit, I'm going on the assumption that the weather is still okay to take off from that runway. So we can find out, I suppose, and see what actually happens. Let's just watch our speed a little bit, don't want to go too crazy. And there are those two Thompson aircraft. Not quite sure what aircraft they are. Look like a 757, maybe 767. Who knows? Not to worry. Let's just slow my aircraft down just a tad. I'm having a little bit of a speedy moment, which is not the best thing to do in the world on a maintenance flight. But never mind. Not to worry. Let's just make sure there's nothing to my right. And there's not. Oh, helps if I turn though. Right, there we go, it's perfectly fine. So I'm going to pass some other aircraft here. They are static aircraft, they will never move. Or at least I don't think they do. I hope they do. That would probably make me a little bit worried if they start moving. Let's adjust my map here. I prefer having it on 5 when I take off, just so I can see exactly what's going on, because you usually have quite a lot of movements to start with. So we're doing just fine though. Not a problem at all. So I'm planning to fly this aircraft out myself and activate the autopilot whenever I feel like it, to be honest. Hopefully this will be a successful plan, but who knows? You know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, never really know. So, bit of a journey going down here. Bit of a long way to go, but never mind. You can see all these other aircraft are all parked up, enjoying the sun. There's a few clouds dotted around, so we should be able to get above those pretty speedy really. There's not going to be much in our way. It's nice and warm, it's 21 degrees. Any update on the weather yet? Because I don't really want to get there and it tells me the wind direction has changed, so I have to turn around. Because that wouldn't be very funny at all, to be honest. But never mind, eh? Never mind. So it's quite a speedy pre-flight. Usually it lasts a little bit longer than that. I did some things, you know, faster than what would usually be done in a real-world operation. I did skip some items as well, part of the pre-flight. I also didn't do any checklists because this is just a maintenance flight. I haven't done that, but I will do when we go into proper flights and stuff, doing destination, point A to point B. I'll start doing things the proper way and trying to match the real-world operations as much as possible. But this is just the beginning, and this was good enough. And lovely Virgin Atlantic 747 there, parked on the left-hand side. Pretty awesome, and we're going a little bit speedy. We're not speeding though. We might be. I don't know. I think ground speed limit is 30, but I could be mistaken. I'm up to 20. Who knows? Let's just pretend it didn't happen. So, whilst that's going in a straight line, he says, I'm going to turn on my TCAS to what it should be. I'm also going to activate VNAV and LNAV, just in preparation from when I decide to activate the autopilot. It can take over and do its thing. So we're approaching the south terminal now, as you can see in front of you. The bit you can see with all the planes is actually closed, I believe, at London Gatwick at the moment. It's being refurbished or whatever. Something's going on. Let's just turn down here onto AM taxiway, whatever it's called, and head down this way. So, a bit of a dark cloud up ahead. Look at that. That looks like it might have a few raindrops. Runway ahead. Really? And this is our runway. It is. Crikey, we're here. Alright. Let's just get our landing lights turned on. So we're ready. What we will also do is set this to continuous and flip that over to the other side, just so we are nicely ready. And we're going to taxi into position and prepare for takeoff. I'll check the weather one more time, and no further updates yet either, so this is where we're going to be taking off. So let's position up and stop. Usually I kind of just crack on and go, to be honest, but I'm actually going to stop the aircraft here. The aircraft should be nice and light, so we're pretty much straight out on the centre line, which is good. So let's just do a final check of everything, making sure all is well. And there's no lights illuminated here. These always seem to happen. I don't know what the problem is, but it does anyway. Hey ho, let's just say sit the hell down to the people we don't have in the back of our plane. And let's go to program. There we go, it's all good there. I think we're ready. So we've got 10 minutes of taxi. So let's just use a bit of a sit back position, you know, so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I know one thing I haven't done. I haven't trimmed the aircraft. So it's 4.66. It's hard to see that. I'm gonna guess it's there, but I don't really know. Not to worry. I don't think it's down on here either, is it? It might be. Let's just get that out of the way though. Here we go then. I am ready. Are you ready? So let's put my thrusters forwards to about 40-50% N1. Like so. Stabilized. And go. Let's do this. This is our first flight. This should be interesting. So easy way to keep it on center line is just look at the very end of the runway and just focus on the very faint line you can see and just make very minor adjustments and all should be well.
V1 rotate.
And we're rotating.
V2.
Kind of. Come on then plane, pull yourself up. Here we go. Positive rate, gear up. Try and keep on the magenta line here. Like so. Zoom in a little bit so I can see the primary flight display a little bit clearer. Turn the aircraft slightly, we're going ever so slightly off course. And our plane is now being pushed down so it can accelerate and we'll be bringing the flaps in. And a little bit off course ever so slightly, so bringing the first level of flaps up. Like so. And the second level of flaps as well. And a little bit higher, there we are, not bad at all. Pretty good. And just focusing on that magenta line just to keep the aircraft where it needs to be. And when we get to 4,000 feet, I'm going to activate the autopilot. And there we go. We are there. Autopilot is now in charge of the aircraft. I think that's not a bad takeoff actually, controlling that. We're relatively on line. We have got a headwind, so it was the right one to take off from. As you can see, the scenery is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So the scenery is FTX Global Plus Vector from Full Terrain, as well as FS Global 2010 for the mesh. I'm also using, as you saw in an earlier video, Active Sky next for the weather generation. And I use Rex 4 textures to control the clouds and all that wonderful stuff, as well as the sea as well. So you'll see the sea is out to our side, all the way over there. It's a little bit in the distance. Never mind. So yes, and I am also using UK 2000 scenery for Gatwick Airport. So tons of scenery on here to make it look as best as it can do. It really does put a lot of pressure on your system, but it copes. It just about copes. And that is the main thing. So we're going to be staying at 4,000 feet for a little bit. I can override it if I want to, but for now I'm going to let the FMC do what it believes it needs to follow the flight plan correctly. If I look at my chart as well, we need to be at 4,000 when we get to Midhurst, which is just coming up now, I believe. It's no, it's not. We're doing our first turn. What are we? Mid-8, yes. Mid-8 we need to be. There we go. So we're heading towards Midhurst now and we need to be at 4,000. So we've already done that, so that was pretty easy. We're doing our first turn now. So we should be on, I don't know, what are we on now? Came out 259. I'm not quite sure. 244 should be our thing, so we'll adjust this as well. It's always good practice to adjust the heading as you turn on your flight plan. Just so you just kind of follow it along, really, and do what needs to be done. That is the way. So we're doing perfectly fine at the moment, not a single problem at all. So it looks like we're going to be heading out towards the sea. It's getting closer, as you can see. It's only over there. Do I have other? There we go. That's much better. Look at that. That's a nice view. And all the scenery below looks amazing. I think that's really realistic. Oh, one thing I am using actually for England, I'm using the Full Terrain England add-on. The FTX Global Plus Vector is for the rest of the world, but for actually England, it's got the England add-on as well, making it look even better. which I think is just amazing. So we're doing a turn again shortly, back onto a heading of 259 degrees, which was the original takeoff heading we had from the airport. So we kind of just do a little bit of a sidestep turn. Probably get out of the way of any incoming traffic that's trying to land on that direction as well. It just puts us alongside, I suppose. That might not be the reason at all, I might be talking crap, but let's turn our landing gear off. We can turn our auto brace off. So turning onto a heading of 259, let's just keep that with it, there we go. Magic. I wonder if the weather has updated, Jay, you never know. Yeah, it has. And 26 left is still the way to go. So at least we did pick the right runway, which I thought we did, to be honest. I thought we'd be picking the right runway. So that is always good news. So anything else for us to do, these can now go off because they're no longer needed. Landing lights I usually keep on to 6,000 feet, to be honest. So I am going to leave those where they are for now. So we will be... we're not doing much more actually, we're already at our altitude for the rest of this flight plan. So I think what I'm going to do is override it. Level change at 230 please. So I'm going to override it now and start to get up to our cruising altitude. Just because, you know, there's no point staying at this low altitude. You know, in real life we would ask for clearance to go up. And we can pretend we've been given that clearance. So hopefully our aircraft doesn't go too mental speed because we want to stay below 250 under 10,000. And we're doing that. So that's why I set the 230 in the FMC, just give us that 20 knot leeway really, and that seems to be helping out a lot, which is splendid news. And there is, let's see, there's not a lot of clouds around actually, we're pretty much in open space. So we're heading towards our, oh we have actually just gone past transition altitude, so we're now on standard. We can now turn off all this good stuff as well. Boom. Magic, up we go then. Let's get the hell out of here. And then we can have a little bit of a fly around and see what needs to be done to get back to the airport. Yeah. It is a pretty short flight, I'm not sure how we're doing for fuel. We got quite a bit, but hopefully when we come back around and land, it will start easing away at this amount of fuel, and that should be fine actually. We shouldn't be over that limit at all. So that's not a problem. So the top of climb is a little way away yet. So I might start skipping ahead here and there, just to jump to the more interesting elements, rather than just making you watch a plane climb through the sky for hours on end. So that might happen every now and then, but I'll only skip the bits that are of little interest really. So what I've just done is increase our speed because we are over 10,000 feet. We can now go a little bit faster. So hopefully this will kick itself into gear. I don't know if it will or not, but yeah, it is. We're now living up a little bit so we can actually pick up our speed, and we are almost at the end of our flight plan. It won't be long until we start flying all by ourselves. But that's fine because we have our heading set to 260, seeing as that's what we seem to be doing. I'll have that set there just so it's all ready. As you can see, it's very nice looking scenery ahead of us. We are heading towards the southwest of England at the moment, which is where I'm from. We won't be quite going down that far. We're turning around shortly to head back to London Gatwick after this wonderful test flight. Because it was always good fun. Always good fun. So what I will do, once we come to the end of our flight plan, I will prepare to set it up for our return journey. And I think I remember what we were going to do. Was it an Astra? It was an Astra arrival, yes. Just got the chart up on my secondary computer, just so I can see what exactly we'll be doing. So we can probably go faster again. What is wrong with the FMC? Oh, I know why. It's because we just left our flight plan. So that is fine. Let's go to 320 to speed up some more. Why not? So it's going to be the Astra 4C arrival take-in, so we'll start to do that shortly. So what I am going to do at the moment is do a head and turn of 220. Boom, head and select please. Get turning. Let's make our way over here and see what needs to be done. That is quite a steep ass turn. Does it have to be that much? Yeah, that's better. Let's gradually do the turn. I don't want to turn too steep. A bit horrific. There we go. Just so it was a bit more relaxing for the people that are on this aircraft, even though there's only a few of us. And I don't like what it does here, where it transitions between sort of coast sea and ocean sea. It looks stupid, but it is what it is. It's a draw distance thing, basically. It's just kind of rubbish. There we go. Passes one of the limitations from Flight Sim. There's not a lot we can really do about that. But as you can see down here, it's looking pretty amazing. And over this side, whatever the hell's over there, towards the north of England, I believe. So let's have a look-see down here, and I know it's the end of the route, and prepare our arrival. So again, it's going to be IS 26 left, and we are using the Astra transition, and we'll be using Astra 4C. Boom. Route it, activate it. I can get it there. Boom. So if we zoom out a little bit, we'll see it's going to spin all the way around, do all of this magical crap. So we can begin to do that, and if we set this and this, or our head and select apparently, so we want to be heading down to here. It doesn't want to do LNAV at the moment, but that's just fine. Is there a problem with it? No destination path after GWC. So what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let's go on to our legs page. No, that's fine. There is no problem whatsoever. Now once the aircraft slow down. Amazing. So let us prepare. And it is going to be 26 left we need to land at. Oh, let's just get that on my old computer so I can see what is going on. So London Gatwick. What am I looking for? What do I need to see? So what I'm going to do is set up everything we need on here for our landing. So I'm going to do a FRAPS 40 landing, and that's pretty much all we got to do. I think I'm not quite sure why it doesn't want to do the LNAV. But hey ho, I'm not quite sure what its problem is on that. Never mind. Maybe it will sort itself out. So we are now descending. As you can see, it's doing its wonderful thing. I still can't turn on LNAV. I have no idea why, but oh well. Not a problem. We just have to manually fly this bitch in ourselves. That is fine. So I'm going to set auto brakes. I'm going to set the max actually. I'm not going to use any reverse thrust. So we have everything all set. One thing I have got to do is set the frequency for the ILS so we can capture it, which is 11090. And it goes into here. So 11090. Boom. 11090. Boom. That is perfectly fine. Up here we need to make sure we have everything all set, so our elevation is 200, so that's fine, and that can stay the same as well. That's not a single problem at all. So we are on our way down. Come on, please down. Why? I really have no idea what the problem is on that. And select them. Whatever. Let's get this thing around, shall we? So hopefully our descent will be all good. I never really know. Let's get this aircraft turned around. Let's just be a bit easier on the turn. So in the last episode we took off from London Gatwick. We are now making our way around. so we can do a wonderful landing. And I think I'm going to start off using the ILS to capture the glide slope and take us down, and I'll probably take over the controls just before touchdown to do a bit of a manual landing, so I'm not quite sure how that will go, so we'll give it a shot and see what happens, but you never really know. You never really know. You never know. So, what is going on there with the scenery? The ocean looks stupid. Oh well. Not to worry. So we've been flying for about 30 minutes. That includes, that timer starts from the time we push back from our gate. So 10 minutes of that was actually pushed back in taxiing. So we've been in the air for about 20 minutes really. So I really am confused as to why the LNAP doesn't want to do its thing. It is most bizarre. So, oh wow. These need to be set to 259 in preparation for the glide slope. Same this one over here, really. So 259. Goody goody. Why won't you do it? Nah. I don't know. I must have done something to upset it, but I'm not quite sure what that is, to be honest. But oh well. Just looks like we have to manually fly some things in at the moment, but that is fine, we can do that. So if I can find... Here we go. So we need to be on a heading of 041 at some point, once I get down to here maybe. If I turn the aircraft over here, I can get that done. So I'll manually fly it in then using what I have on my chart. Seeing as the autopilot doesn't want to fly the actual route itself. Not too sure why. But oh wells. Never mind. Oh, actually, I think I might know why. Execute that. That was why. It was trying to find the starting point of the route. There we go. See, I figured it out. I was looking at it thinking, hang on, that magenta line is not disappearing. And that's because the aircraft was trying to find the beginning of the route. So now, we're heading straight for Cathay instead. So that's easy peasy. So I will set this to 041 apparently. That's what it will be once we get to Cathay. So I'll leave it at that direction at this moment in time and see what happens. So let's just make sure the it is still 1022 for our altimeter. There you go, that is still set right, that's good. It's very hard to see because all the way down here. There you go, 1022. Try and guess which our view controller is for that. So we are still descending ever so gently. We're going a little bit fast at the moment. The speed is fine at the moment. Once we get towards 10,000 feet, let's drop that down to about 230. Yeah, as you can see, we quite a nice view ahead of us. Now we've got a bit of a crosswind at the moment. But yeah, we're going to be using max auto brake, so we don't have to use our reverse thrusts in theory. So we'll see how that goes. Should be alright. Soon find out anyway. Let's see what actually happens to us as we get closer. So, I will see you in a second as we start to approach the airport. Alright, so we are almost at 10,000 feet. It's going to be passing through 13,000 feet shortly, and we're going to be heading towards our deceleration point. You can see on the ND here, we've got a deceleration point. So that's when the FMC believes the air crash should slow itself down. So we don't end up overspeeding below 10,000 feet. So we are, yeah, we're almost there. You can see it's not too much further to go really. The airport is just over here somewhere. Over here, I don't know. I'm not quite sure where the airport is, but it is out there. I know this much. Clouds are very scattered, not going to be causing us any problems today. It's 4 degrees at the point that we're on at the moment. So our descent is going fine. We've got a bit of a tailwind at this direction, but that'll be fine when we turn around and we'll be giving ourselves a headwind, which is good for landing. But yeah, a bit of a tailwind at the moment, which speeds us up ever so slightly. So it's trying to bring our speed down here. We also bring our speed down now actually. So I'm going to give it a helping hand by just putting the speed brake out, and it should be able to drag that speed down a little bit more, a little bit faster. At the moment it's doing absolutely nothing. Come on speed, bring yourself down. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Come on speed. We are descending even faster now as well, and our speed is not doing anything, so that tailwind is not helping our cause. In fact, it's making us go a little bit faster now. So our descent has gone stupid. We might have to control our level of descent, otherwise we are going to overspeed. Yes, so I'm going to just drag it to 500 for a second. Just so I can get my butt down to our desired speed. There we go, now we're making good progress. And 26 left is still definitely the right runway to land on, and the tailwind is getting greater at the moment. But there we go, now we are almost at our correct speed. And look at the coastline. Does anybody here live down this part of the country? Let me know if you do. So we're at our desired speed. Let's push our descent back to where it was. Hopefully we won't speed up too much. Now we're at that speed, hopefully we can control it. I'll remove the flaps, the slats for now, and hopefully it'll be alright. Yeah, we seem to be doing okay. And we're speeding up, so let's keep our speed brake armed, just so we can control that speed. Because we're now just gone past 10,000 feet. So at least we're not speeding. We've got a bit of descent to make up though, because you can see here a little bit too high. But that's fine, I'm confident I can make that up. Tailwind is now 15 knots as well. Going right up our butt. And we're not actually far away until we get, yeah, we're only here, look. Whew. It's not far to go at all, to be honest. It really isn't far to go. But we are slowly bringing our altitude back to where it needs to be, so that's good. And we're almost at our transition altitude as well, so we're putting on our landing lights and changing our altimeter. So we're not far out from our destination either. We'll be landing in about 5 minutes maybe. About 5 minutes I would say, and we can get back onto our parking stand and turn off the aircraft. Why not? Get it done. So we are descending nice and fast. Our speed is a little bit crazy. Let's pull that back a little bit just so we don't go. We've gone slightly over, but that's okay. Bring us slightly back. Just so we can bring our speed down a little bit more. I don't really want to keep my speed brake out for too long. I mean, we can, because it helps control the speed, but I'd rather not. To be honest, I'd rather do it without. But it's a lovely sunny afternoon though here in London. Going through the clouds at the moment. And the airport is somewhere around here. I don't really know where. Is it next to us? I think it's over there. I think it's that, possibly. Could be. Who knows? Who knows? Speed is still a little bit hectic, but we are going through our transition now, so I'm going to put our landing lights on, and those I'm going to get these set back to continuous, just so they're ready, and now we can set this on. Good. 6,000 feet. So we should be able to just decrease that slightly. We should be doing okay. A little bit more as we begin our turn. We'll do a nice gentle turn. I'll change this to be a little bit smoother on the turns. just so it's not too rough. And we can do that. And it's getting a little more crazier now in the turn. That's fine. It's still nice and smooth. So we have got a little bit of room left for our descent. We haven't got to be to 2000 until about here, near that deceleration point. So we are doing okay, to be honest. Our speed is now under control again, and this is coming back up to where I believe it should be. So I will take out the speed brake, and what I will try and do is arm it so it's ready for our landing. You never really know. As soon as this gets back in line, I'm going to activate VNav again and let the FMC control the remainder of the descent. So we are doing okay. So I'll do that now. Yeah, steady on. See what it wants us to do. We're doing okay. We are not going to be having any difficulty, I think, with our landing. We should be all good. So leveled off at 4,000 at the moment, got some nice clouds above us, which is awesome. And I will set on the localizer shortly so we can grab that glide slope and begin to bring the aircraft down. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. So at the deceleration point, I'll probably start to put in the first level of flaps, which is fine. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. So this has been a pretty good flight so far. Hopefully the landing will be successful as well for our very first landing in this aircraft. And if it is, we can go on to longer adventures and see where else we can go, where else we can travel to. Let's zoom in on our map a little bit more as we head towards the airport. This is almost an hour actually. It's been quite a long flight for our first one. Not bad at all. I'm flying under the clouds, which is nice. And one more turn and we'll be pretty much in line with the runway, making our final descent. So we seem to be doing okay. So the airport is off to our left somewhere. Over here. I think it's that there. So anything else we have to do? I don't believe so. I think everything is all set. I think everything is perfectly fine. Which is good. On an aircraft, I'm going to take over the descent of the aircraft now because I'm not confident enough that it's going to do it for me. So I'm going to control this myself. I want to be at my desired altitude. Around about here, really. Slightly before we turn on to our finals. Let's adjust it accordingly. Let's try that. And it's going to ask for some deceleration shortly, so I'll probably use the speed brake for that as well. And then I will activate the localizer. So let's begin to bring the speed down because it's not going to tell me it wants to do it, so I'm going to do it myself. Here we go. And we can start to put in our flaps and bring the aircraft to its approach speed. So I wonder how we're doing for fuel. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, fuel's alright. Got plenty of it, we haven't got too much either, which is good. So let's activate the localizer. And Christ, it's captured already. Jesus. And it's going to do its own way of turning. So, oh, a bit of black scenery there. Let's bring our first level of flapsing as we are approaching down. And our scenery's gone a bit spodgy. Never mind. It's perfectly fine. Here we go then. And let's turn on the approach, both the autopilots, and let's get this done. So I'm going to take over the aircraft at some point, I'm not quite sure when, but maybe about 500 feet, 600 feet, I might do the final part of the landing. At the moment I'm a little bit busy getting our speed under control. We seem to be doing okay actually, so what I will do is, wrong way, is rearm that. Bring our speed down some more. We haven't begun to go down yet, but I will bring our speed down. You'll see here this magenta line is going to start decreasing, and once it gets to the middle, that's when the aircraft will begin to descend. So I will start to bring this aircraft down to where it needs to be as we head in line for the runway. And time for our landing gear. That is a reminder for us to put the gear down because we are getting slower and slower. And here we go. I might be able to take over control of the aircraft a little bit sooner because I might be okay to do that. Let's get a full landing flaps then. As the aircraft begins to descend itself down. Here it goes. Here it goes. Awesome. It's doing everything it should be doing. So let's just keep an eye on it, make sure it is going all okay. And then I can think about disabling the autopilot and finish off myself. I might do it about 1,000 feet. I might take control. We are all okay. It's set to a land free, but I can always disable that. And yeah, it seems to be going quite well actually. So I think I'm about ready. I'll leave the auto throttle in for now. Just try and get control of the aircraft. Just readjust this. Got to pull up slightly. My control column seems a little bit stiff, which is never good. But I am ready for this landing, so I might be a little bit quiet during this bit. This is where I have to concentrate the most. This is where it gets a little bit more challenging because I am trying to bring this aircraft in for a smooth touchdown. But you never know, it might be a bit disastrous. I feel like I'm a little bit offline. I'm doing okay. I think I'm a little bit too low. Yeah, maybe it is a little bit right. Now I'm more in line with the runway again now, which is good. Yeah, so I feel I'm doing okay here. A little bit too far the other way actually.
100.
So a little bit offline, but... Oh, hello.
50. 30. 20.
Come on, touchdown. That was really offline. That was not good. That aircraft has floated. So I will be putting in the reverse thrusters. I got to get this aircraft slowed down fast. I used up too much runway, so that wasn't the best. But okay. My aircraft then. Ooh. Alright, so yeah, not the best of landings actually. After all that. The aircraft drifted to one side a little bit, it threw itself. And this is not a taxiway to use. Whoops. Never mind. I thought it would be. But it's not. Not to worry. So yeah, a little bit scruffy actually on the end there. Which is not ideal. So I'm going to go this way. So yeah, my column was a little bit stiff as well, which probably didn't help matters. So I've got to take this way and go around a little bit. So whilst we're doing this, let's get the old APU on. Just so that's ready, we can turn off that as well. So yeah, we'll have to do better than that. That wasn't the best landing in the world. We got down on the runway, we were a little bit off center line, but it's still a softish landing. That's not what I had really planned to do. I expected to be a little bit better than that, but apparently not. But this was the first flight after all, and practice makes perfect. So we shall continue to practice as we begin other flights. See, I could have just cheated really and used the autoland feature on my first flight, but I thought no, I'll try it myself. I'll try and pull this one off. And yeah, it didn't quite go as planned, but the plane is still down safe, and that is the main thing. That is what is important. So I want to increase my parking position to 234, which is back where we started. I went far too far. 234, there we go. That is all set and we're good to get there. So aircraft has all been tidied up again. All of the flaps and everything is all back to where it should be. Whoops. I pressed the hotkey to do that. I have on my control column to set the flaps back to its 0 position. So yeah, that's pretty much an hour flight. That wasn't bad at all. I'm fairly happy with that. I wish the landing was a little bit better, but you know, it still was safe enough. We still landed on the runway, a little bit offline, off center, but we landed on the runway, and it was still soft as well. It was a soft touchdown. So the plane seemed to have a little bit of a shake towards the end. I don't know if that was a little blip or if that's something that I did. I'm not entirely sure. But never mind, we are going in here. We're going to park up and get his aircraft turned off, and then report back to whoever it is in charge to let them know how the maintenance flight went. We won't tell them how the landing went though, we'll keep that secret. It's better for my career if we keep that secret. But that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad, and I gotta remember which one we're going to. We're going to 234, aren't we? And it's really hard to read this crap on the floor. Which one is it? Is it this one here? No, that's 232. Little way to go yet then. This one will be 233. Oh, they're 233. And the next one is going to be 234. So the next one will be ours. So here we go. Let's get this plane turned into here. And we can park up. Oh look, we have a little man. How nice of him. We have our own little controlling thing anyway, but never mind. Let's slow this bitch down a little bit, because we are approaching inwards. Don't want to run him over, the poor guy. I'm going to ignore him really, I'm using this thing over here. That would do nicely. And let's get that set. Let's let the APU take over the power. And we shall turn the engines off. Magic. off they go. Awesome stuff. And now they're going to quiet themselves down a little bit. Well, we made it. That is going to be the end of this episode and the end of this this flight. We will be figuring out what we're going to do next. In the next episode, we will be planning a flight to another airport somewhere in the UK. But thanks again for watching, guys.
Blocks in position.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.